Right. I believe my screen should be projecting and visible now. Can I get a confirmation? Okay. Thank you. So, following our class of yesterday, we will be proceeding from where we stopped. Yes, yesterday we touched minimum, maximum, average. We touched autofill, and then we touched the lookups, V lookups, H lookups, X lookup and index match. Today we'll be going into a more advanced, a little more advanced use of Excel. So, which is called pivot table. Pivot table can just easily help you to summarize your data. Okay, to help you to summarize your data to some extent, and then from there you can even visualize. This is not the data we used yesterday. Let's see. Where did I save that? Mm, okay. Think. Ah, yes. This is the data that was used yesterday. So, I before we left yesterday, I said today we'll be going into visualization. But before visualization, um, to, Obaloyo, please kindly mute your mic. Thank you. So I said we'll be going into visualization, and then before we go into visualization, we actually do go through it. We usually go through it by using pivot table. Pivot table is a kind of table that helps you to summarize your data based on aggregation. You want to count, you want to see the sum, you want to do this and do that. So let's say you are the one handling this data now. You are the data entry officer at your work. And then all of a sudden, your boss came with the question of, come, what is even what is our total sales this year? Or what product category gave us the highest sales this year? We want to know the actual product that gave us the highest sales this year. All this kind of thing. But you as a data entry, you are the one whenever any good is sold, your job is to input this record. This thing was bought today. This was bought today through online. This is the price. This is whatever and whatever. So it will be very difficult for you to start tracing. Okay, this is the product name. This is the sales. It will be very difficult for you to start tracing which one of them because different people will buy the same product, right? And you'll be looking for the same product, how many places it is sold. You start having to be adding the sales for each product, no matter how many times they got sold to different people. It's a very difficult task. So that is the use of pivot table. It will help you summarize this cool whatever SLR camera now. No matter how many times it is being sold, it will look for this particular name everywhere it appears, and then sum its sales everywhere, and then put the total in front of it. Enough of talking. Let me just demonstrate that. So let's say I want to know, let me open another sheet here, sheet one. So I want to know zone, zone with or region or whatever with highest sales, right? What I will do is I'll come to my data here. As long as I'm clicking on anywhere on the in the data, so I'll just go to insert. This is pivot table here. Then click on pivot table. Remember the name of the table is table one. Because I was clicking on this table, I was clicking somewhere, anywhere on this table before I inserted pivot table. So it will automatically suggest the name of this table for me, which is fine, table one. Leave it like that. Now, it is now automatically pointing at new sheet for me. If I click OK now, to create another sheet down here. But I don't want it to create a new sheet. I want to put it in this sheet one that I already created myself. So I'll click on existing sheet. Now, when it was still on new sheets, the cursor will not be blinking here, right? So if I click OK now, it will just automatically open a sheet and the pivot table will drop there. But if I click on existing sheet now, so the cursor will open here, expecting me to input the location or the sheet that I want. So if I click on sheet one now, you see that sheet one has gotten populated there. And then I will have to select, inside that sheet one, I will have to select a cell where I want to put the pivot table. I'll click on it, click here, and then it has given me cell A3 and it logged it with the dollar sign. Now I'll click on OK. Now you can see pivot table one. So what I'm looking for is zone with highest sales. So you need to understand the question well when you are dealing with data. You need to understand question well, and then again you need to understand the columns in your table that is going to answer the question. Here now we see zone. There's a column called zone and then sales. These are the two columns that is going to be needed to answer this question. So, and this is the list of all the columns in my table. This is the list. All I have to do is choose the one that I want. Okay? So, I'll just say, okay, this is zone here. Now, I'm going to drag this zone. I'm going to drag it to rows here. Then, sales, which is this, I'm going to drag it to values. This value pane here is where calculation is made. Row is where the entries that are in my column will be listed the way they are, but calculation is made in values. So now I will drag zone inside rows. And as you can see, my zones have already appeared in the table. Then I'll drag sales here in the values. Now, without having to be using any formula one after the other to find sales of each of the zones, pivot table will just automatically help me summarize everything. Now, if I come to the data here, you will see those zones here. Zone, you see southeast here, 2,700. Southeast here, 103. Southeast here. So if you have to be doing them one after the other, do all southeast, do all southwest, do all south south. It's a very big work. But now with just some few clicks, I've gotten sales for each zones summarized. And from here you can say, okay, I don't want just the sum, because by default, naturally, Excel will give you the sum of it. Okay, I don't want the sum, I want something else. So you can just click on it, left click, and say field value setting. You can change a lot of things here. So these are the things. Naturally it will bring sum. You can change to average, change to minimum, maximum, and so on and so, depending on what question you want to answer. Okay, so you can come here, show value as, you can come here to say, okay, I don't want to see the sum, I want to see percentage, I want to see rank, I want to see index. So we are still going to touch some of those things. For now, we want to know the highest, the zone that gave us the highest sales overall. Now, just by looking at it, we will have this one that is 15 million, southeast, right? Southeast gave us 15 million. So you can as well just visualize this so that your boss wouldn't have to be wearing his glasses to be figuring out between figures which one is this. So you can just insert and then say recommended charts here. It will automatically give you this column chart. It is called column chart. In school, they call it bar chart for us. This is actually bar chart, the one that is horizontal. So it will automatically give you this. Where is this column? Which is fine. So just by looking at the heights of these charts, you can automatically just at a glance determine that, oh, okay, it is the southeast that gave us the highest sale. You can as well go further to, click on this and put on the data labels. Data label is going to show you the figure for each and every one of them easily, right? So these are the things that make data analysts. These are the things that make your work valuable. But since we are not here to do data analysis, we are here to teach Excel. So I'm not going to go deep into data analysis work. Okay. So now, uh, assuming I'm here to teach data analysis now, there are some cleanups I'm supposed to do in all this to make this very unique. But let's just go with this. So there are some formatting. I want these things now to appear as currency, to appear not just numbers like this. So I can either go to the data since we are dealing with sales. Sales itself is just normal number. I want to change it to currency. This is dollar here. So I will drop this down and then more accounting formats. This symbol here, I'll drop it down and look for Naira. I'll scroll down to look for Naira. So I'm just assuming that we are dealing with Naira here. So these are Naira. So all these are tribes of Nigeria. You can decide to choose anyone. Since I'm Yoruba, let me pick Yoruba and say okay. Now everything is having Naira. So you can also do the same for unit price because they are money, cost and price. So you can just click on format painter and then drop it on price. The same way, drop it on costs. As easy as that. Again, now since this has been done now, I can refresh data. I want that effect to come to this pivot table and the chart. Data, I can refresh from here. Uh, this is supposed to inherit the formatting. Okay, since this one is not inheriting it automatically, you can just at the same time do the same formatting for it. Do the same for it. Hmm. It is putting the naira after the digits. That's not supposed to be so. Mhm. So now turn it to naira for me, please. Currency. Aha. Now this is what I'm talking about. So your boss can easily just see this and say, oh, okay, no problem, no problem. So I'm just going to go through some random things that you can easily find out using Excel. Things that you can just so okay. Yes, let's say this other date now. This other date. Your boss is trying to know some things that happen in a particular year. And this date that you have now, there is 2013, 2012, 2012, right? I think, yes, we have 2011 to 2014, right? What if, so how are you going to do it? Because if you open up 2014 here, you have months. If you open up one of the months, you have the number of days. So there's no way you can work with precise year because all these are appearing as full dates. So you need to extract year out of this date now. So you can just do that by you know, creating another column here, and let's name the new column year. Let's name it year. And then this one you just say equal to text, right? It says it converts a value to text in a specific number format. That's its job. Text value now. This is the value here. This date that is here. And then comma. What is the format I want it to appear as? I'll just say I want my year to appear as its 4 digits. 2012 should be 2012, 2014 true. I'll just say, okay, open the quote, year. 4 digit like that. Close the quote, close the brackets. Now you have extracted year, only year from your date. So if I want it to be just 2 digits now, I can reduce this to two Ys, and then everything, the year will just be the 2 digits. This is 2013, 2014, 2012, but I will prefer it to be four, right? This is good. Now I want to do the same thing to month. I want to extract month again. Uh, I'll call it month. I'll use the same function again, text function. The value is this date, comma, then the format of the text should be month. Now I want it to be 2 digits. If I make it four, it will spell out the name of the month. Let's do that first. Let's see if it is still the same as I've known it to be. Aha, yes. It spells out the full name of the month, because month as a digit is not up to 4 digits like year. So you can have month 01, which is January, month 08, which is August. But when you make the format to be up to four now, it will just, instead of that, it will just give you the full uh, name of the month. So if I make it two, to rather give me just the month number. This is 11th of January 2012. This is January 2012, right? So I don't know if I should leave it. Okay, let me allow it to give me the full name of the month. Good. This one is okay. Now we can now proceed with further analysis using time intelligence now. So, okay, let's say now we want to know the sales that we make in every year, in each year and each month. We have this data contains just 4 years. It spans between 2011 till 2014. Now we want to know our total sales in the whole of, in each individual year, right? Oh, let me move this under this. So I'll say sales. I want to know sales per year. Good. Let me format the background to show that it's a heading. I'll just do the same thing, the same way I did it earlier. Click on anywhere, insert pivot table, table one, leave it like that. Existing worksheet, I want to put it in sheet one, and I'm going to put it in this cell. Okay, now I'm going to look for my year. Okay, I've not saved it, so it won't appear. Control S. Let me cancel this. Oh, I don't know why this refresh is not working. It's supposed to work. Aha, yes. My year has appeared now. Drag it into rows. And then where is my sales? Put it here. These are the sales we made in total sales we made per year. Now I can also visualize this. Insert again. Give it this time around. Give it I want to give it bar chart. Okay. Now we can see that we made very little sales in what? In 2011. Yeah. So why you may be curious, or your boss may be curious as to why did we make little sales in 2011 compared to other years, right? So in 2012 now we had 21 million, which was the highest year. I mean, the year with the highest sales. Why did we have this? So it's something that you can somehow create another pivot table and figure out if we started making sale in January 2000, and it's possible that in that 2011 we only started recording this data in maybe September, October, or November in 2011. That may be the reason why we have very little sales in 2011, right? So you can find it out. Let me just copy this. Let me copy this pivot table. I'm just going to copy it and paste it here. Now place it there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove. Okay. But let me just put month. I want to see the hierarchy of the dates. It's called hierarchy. So you see what I'm talking about. Other dates. Where is other dates? Okay, other dates here. If I put it here, it will open up as hierarchy. Now, under the I only drag other date here, it will separate it into hierarchy. I have year in the other date column, I have quarter, I have month, I have the date. So I need only the year and the month. I want to know how many months that we operated in those years. So if I now come here to open up 2011, you see that only have December in 2011. What about other years? Open it up. You have from January to December, 2013, January to December, 2014, January to December. This is the reason why we have very low sales, just 1 million, compared to others that we are having 17, 21, 16, right? So even comparing 2011 to other year by average, I can say 2011 even made more sales than other years because only 1 month we are able to make 1.2 million. Now imagine if we had the rest of the months. Maybe we could have met up and surpassed all the other months. So I'm going to close this and that, drag them away to clear it off. So now, what about months? What sales do we have in each month? So we can do the same as usual, drag month here and then sales. Now we can see the individual sales we made in each month. I can see a lot of similar figures. There are just little difference between them. 4 million, 3 million, 4 million, 4.9. In fact, look very similar. This kind of thing now, if you visualize it, the visual will look almost the same. Okay. Yeah, not not very the same, but almost. So you can see how this looks like. Yeah, I want to remove all these unneeded things here. Good. Remove this as well. Include the data labels. So in this kind of case, I'll prefer to just remove the data label because it's a lot of data points and those data labels will be causing conflict on each other. They will be overlapping and your visualization is not going to be neat. So from just by looking at it, you can see that October has most of the sales. I can only select October alone and see what is there. This is 5.449 October. That's where we have most sales. 5.449 million. Okay. And where we have the list is this February here. I can select it again to see what we have there. Data label. So we have 3.531, which is here, February. So these are some ways which you can smartly answer questions using data on Excel. There's a lot of things that you can do, a lot of other things that will even be visually appealing. Now, let me let me give you something this night before we go. After this, we are going to close it for tonight. Okay. Now, there's something I want to do. Let me go to insert here, this 3D map. If I open 3D map, it will take a little time depending on the network situation. Yes. So if you look at this map here now, right? If you look at this map, this is a map of Nigeria, and these rectangles here are showing the states the states that we have in the data. Those are the states where our businesses are where our business is operating, right? You can just click on it and see. You can click on it and see. You can click on it and see this particular state. Now, if you come to this side here, you see location. State has already been automatically added to it. Now, this height, now I can put our sales there, right? Don't know if you notice anything. So let me cancel this first. There are other things I can do with this. I can zoom out so you can see it is in form of a globe. I can rotate the globe just by left clicking on it. I can rotate it to see other continents, but we are in Africa. The data is Nigerian based. So I want to change it to 2D. I don't want it to be in form of globe this way so that it will flatten out. No, no, not this, not 2D, sorry. Going to remove that. This thing just likes disobeying me sometimes. Okay, thank you. What I want is a flat map. Aha, good, thank you. Now I can zoom in back. Please, I don't want to see this thing. This as well, I want it reduced. I can zoom in this. So I want to, okay, let's put state, add field here. Let's put sales in this, in the height. Now you can tilt this downward to give you this view, right? You can tilt it to the side to give you a 360 degrees view, right? So with this kind of view now, you can easily visualize how your business is performing in each state, right? You can even also do it for zone, for year, the same way we did with pivot table and normal visualization. You can use this to zoom in or zoom out, and you can just hold down the your left click of the mouse and drag in and out to give you the drone overview of your visual. It will look as if you are flying a drone over an estate so that you'll be able to visualize the different heights of all this. So this one that is the tallest among them here, if you just place your cursor on it, you see that it is Ebonyi. Ebonyi is the state where we are having most sales. We are not, this business is not even operating in Lagos at all. It's not really operating in Lagos. Okay, let's put what else can we do here? No, leave all this alone. These are not needed. So this is called 3D map visualization in Excel. So many people don't even know that this exists, right? So many people. Just think Excel is for doing entering your data, enter your name, enter your score, and do 1 plus 1, 2 plus 2. Excel is a very powerful tool that you can use for so many things. So I don't intend to make tonight's class very long, and this is where it is going to be suspended for tonight. Okay, so even this, if you look at this side, you will see or one, and you see 10 seconds, which means this can be played as a video, and I can increase the number of tours to make different kind of visual and make them play for any number, I mean any length of time that I want while I am presenting. So if I'm to play this now, so it depends on my configuration, right? This one only has 10 seconds to play. You may not know because there's no much configuration on it. So, but this is where I prefer to stop it. So, if there's any question, please, this is the time that I will expect you to ask. For those of you using Excel that is earlier than 2016, you'll be very, very limited in a lot of features. So Excel only becomes very powerful from 2016 upward. Right now, me, I'm using 2024 version. So as a data analyst that I am, we need very recent versions of our tools. So thank you very much. This is where I'm going to suspend the class for tonight. If there's any question, please, this is the time to ask. Pẹ̀lúmi Owóẹ̀yẹ Ọbalọ́yọ̀ọ́, right? Thank you. No problem. So, in the absence of a question, now I'll just assume that we all understood everything I just did. And all right, thank you again for joining me tonight. So, I'll see you again the same time tomorrow night. Good night.